Anyway, so guess what was recently spotted, Keith? Finally.
One of those zebras with the reverse stripes, white on black?
Absolutely. Absolutely. No, actually it was silver, all silver, versus the yellow. But anyway, yeah, zebra. Anyway, yeah. So... So we got our first glimpse recently at what it looks like to be a couple of Nissan 400Z production vehicles coming into LA. There was someone at one of the receiving facilities that got into it and showed us some of the interior, pointed out the fact that it was some of the changes. If you look at this thing, it is definitely true to the proto that we saw when they initially revealed this thing. And I think we said then that if they do that with this and they don't change it that much, if this is what it looks like, man, I'm on board.
So I watched the videos. I had a couple things jumped out at me here. Number one, I do kind of wonder the legitimacy of. I mean, he says he's in California. He kind of sounded like he was in California. It looked like the car came in shipped. I don't know if that car was intended for a U.S. market, though. I mean, if you go to Nissan's website right now, they're still listing the 370Z in their sports, that one in the GTR, okay? And why would you start shipping to dealers before your corporate website lists the vehicle for sale?
This could be someone within the Nissan organization getting the vehicle first here in the States. As we well know, there's a huge headquarters.
Right, which is to my point of, it's not necessarily intended for the U.S. market to sell. But
they did point out, our friends over at Road and Track pointed out that the headlights in the rear bumper have been given reflectors to conform to U.S. regulations. Distance sensors have been added, and a lip spoiler has also been attached to the hatch. So it does appear like it is built for the U.S. market. Now, is this a disguise? I don't see why it would be. I mean, they said that they would be in production and you would be seeing these things on the showroom floor hopefully by midsummer.
See, I think it's a show car for going in, it's for a commercial or a video shoot or, because you got to remember it takes time for them to as we know, production takes time. Like it takes 2 to 3 times as long as the actual filming process itself. So I don't know, and this is petty, but the one thing that you and I talked about and we said, man, I hope they do this because it would be just awesome and it probably wouldn't add a ton of cost to the vehicle, is the raised white lettering on the tires that said Z.
I would be all over that.
They're not on this.
They're not on it. I know it, and that was just. And I said to you that that's a good marketing. Be a really good marketing tool. But who knows when they get these things up on their websites or and you can the configurators. Who knows? That may be an option for you to upgrade to those specific tires. I don't know. I hope so. I hope they do it that right. And it would be, I think it would be cool, very cool.
They tend to not mess around a lot with options for tires on the Z car. You kind of just get the best. Like they don't typically, in years past anyway, they haven't offered a lot of variations there. Mm-hmm. They famously, they're different size wheels in the front than they are in the back.
Yeah.
We'll see if that continues, but
right.
So you can't rotate them, but they don't typically give you a lower end option because that's a performance car and it really does need. And you're not going to get, I mean, they're not, you might get in 10,000 miles out of some of these tires and it's time to buy new ones.
Right. But what my point is this, is that to the true enthusiast of a Z,
yeah,
someone who loves them like you do, like I have several friends of mine that love the thing. It's not necessarily a downgraded tire. It's just an option to upgrade to a white letter version because
I see what you're saying. So it'd be like the same tire, but it'd be like a custom.
But it just have a white letter version,
Yeah.
right? Just like the car comes in yellow or black or gray. I mean, whatever.
Call it an
so
option.
I think that it's just an option. And again, we won't. That remains to be seen until we see the configurator online, which probably is going to be a really small configurator. There's not going to be a whole lot of options. Typically the Z's are what they are. Mm-hmm. You're going to have the higher horsepower version versus the standard, and you might have automatic versus
right, which
manual.
we already know. Yeah,
right. So
right.
we know the answers there. So yeah. Anyway, it's maybe it's a tease. We don't know, and maybe you're right that it's intended for show purposes only. But it doesn't make sense to me that if it is a show car, to put it out there and it not be what the production vehicle is going to be. So I have to kind of
or it's going to be used in a movie or a commercial footage or something, and they needed to slate that so that, by the time they announce it, they've got a commercial to go with it or something like that.
Right, exactly. And again, and to that point, you're right that this may not be what that final production vehicle will look like, because there's a lot of customization that goes on specifically for advertising and marketing. And so you kind of have to take it with a grain of salt. So, but my point is that it's here in the U.S. They say it came into L.A. and there were two of them. And
typically that's your port of arrival, port of entry.
Right. That's exactly
any
port of
Asian
entry
manufacturer.
from. Yep. You got it. It's either coming into L.A., Seattle, or you might get them into New York or somewhere like that. And I think even like places like Savannah, Georgia is getting vehicles coming in there too. They have to have areas within the U.S. that make sense, and then plus gets people out of a pickle. Like, for example, the way back in the, I don't know, like say 2012, 13-ish, somewhere around in there, when there was a bunch of strikes in L.A., and so all the cargo ships were just kind of sitting out there waiting to get in, and a lot of them just kind of went around the horn and came into, other ports, like New York and Savannah and those areas. So anyway, so it's something to hang on to, guys. If you're a Z fan, keep on the lookout, man. If you know of anything factually, or you've seen anything that you're aware of, why don't you reach out to us on partskinddguru.com. We have a contact us or a leave a comment in the comment section there.
Yeah, there you go.
We'll put your name out there, and mention your name and ask the question and see if we can't get the answer, or we'll let people know that you gave us some good info. So there you go. And hey,
or leave a comment if you're watching this on the video segment. Make sure you hit that. Man, I never do this as good as my son does it, but click the bell, hit the subscribe button, notify all. That way, when we have more info on this, you will be one of the first people to know.
Absolutely, as long as YouTube does their job.
Right.
Yeah.